You've tried the dopamine detox, no phone, no Netflix, cold showers, but a few days later you're back in the loop, procrastinating, scrolling on your phone, feeling guilty. I used to do exactly the same, but weirdly during the busiest part of my life, working full-time as a doctor and building my side hustle on the side, I discovered something that actually worked. In this video I'll show you why your dopamine detoxing is backfiring and the one shift that finally rewired my brain to crave focus, even on the most chaotic of days. Dopamine detoxing sounds good in theory, cut out all distractions, rewire your brain. But here's the problem, your brain doesn't want nothing, it wants something better. So when you strip out all dopamine with no replacement, your brain rebounds harder. And that's exactly why 3 days after your detox, you're back scrolling YouTube and binging on junk food again. Detoxes fail because they rely on willpower, not strategy. And especially if you're working a 9 to 5 and building something on the side, your willpower will run out fast. You think you're addicted to dopamine, but it's actually much deeper than that. What you're really chasing is quick wins, novelty, and a sense of progress. Scrolling on Instagram, it gives you all three of these instantly. Deep work doesn't really do much. Not in the short term anyway. So your brain keeps choosing what feels good, not what is good in the long term. Unless you learn how to reprogram that reward. And I'll show you the 3-step dopamine anchor framework I used to do exactly that. The first step is anchor dopamine to your deep work. I started using things like music, timers, and micro rewards. For example, a 50-minute deep work sprint gives me one lo-fi track. This dopamine hit was earned, not stolen. I made deep work feel like a challenge or a game, not a chore. Number 2, I kept small pleasures, but I timed them. I didn't cut caffeine or YouTube, I earned them. No coffee until I'd done 30 minutes of focus. YouTube I could only access after 3 deep work blocks. My brain still had access to dopamine, but I needed to do a challenge first. In this way, my brain started associating dopamine with discipline. Finally, number 3, I gamified the experience with dopamine points. I gave myself 1 dopamine point for every 1 hour of deep work I completed. And to make it interesting, on tough days when I was tired or stressed or didn't feel like it, I doubled the points. And with the dopamine points I'd earned, I was able to spend them on guilt-free rewards. I trained my brain to chase the work because it led to pleasure. But did this actually work? Let me show you the shift I noticed in real life. So while working full-time as a doctor, including night shifts, weekend shifts, 13-hour shifts at times, I was still able to turn up and have the energy to build my personal brand. Why? Because I stopped wasting energy fighting dopamine or resisting it, and instead I started directing it. I actually looked forward to my deep work sessions because at the end of them was dopamine. When you train your brain to crave the right habits, focus becomes automatic. So remember, you don't need to kill dopamine, you just need to train it to serve your goals. Use it, don't let it use you. And if you want the exact dopamine tracker that I use, just comment anchor and I will send it to you. And if you're serious about leveling up your side hustle while working a 9 to 5, then hit subscribe, because in the next video I will break down how I gamify my entire work week using this system. As always, thanks for watching the video.